What's up, everybody? It's your man Danelle, aka Small Guy Promotions, aka the Omaha Fatty, coming with another podcast episode of What's Up Omaha. I know I've been away for a while. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm taking it easy this year. I was holding myself accountable to doing a podcast once a week, every week for the last however many years, and I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna do it when I have time and when I'm like really feeling it, because it gets tough when I have so many other things going on. But so I'm glad to be back, though. I have a guest with me, a wonderful guest. I met her over the summer. This is Meg here from Yelp. Hello, Meg. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
No, thank you for coming on. I was like, man, we got to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know when we met this summer, I was like, we need to connect more and we need to do some more things together. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to kind of connect on a deeper level and have me share a little bit more about what I do and learn more about
Yes.
what you do and make some stuff happen.
Yes. So shout out to Omaha. I always say small Omaha because there's so many ways that people can be connected, and that's one of the things that brought us together was, it was National Hot Dog Day. We, myself and Dave from Fatterday, we were out there on location at Monolithic Brewing Company, out there. What is it, 124th or 120th in Maple?
Yep,
Or just
right
off,
off port. Yeah.
yeah, right off in between. But yeah, we were there, and you were there. I didn't know you were going to be there, but you were there, and you were blowing up Yelp and getting the word out about what you guys do. So we talked and had a good conversation there, and then I just said, you know what, she would be a good guest. So
Well, thank you. I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about what I do with Yelp in Omaha. I've been with Yelp. The funny story about my origin story with Yelp is I used to work full time at an online retailer here in Omaha. I don't know if I can say, and then Hay Needle. And I was just perusing, I think, and I saw like a paid ad for an internship with Yelp in
mhm.
2017. And I thought, reading the description, it was like help a community manager set up and execute these marketing style parties for local businesses. And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to get out of the house a couple times a month and work and be in the city, especially if you're in the food community. Restaurants, dining, coffee shops, everything is so fun. And once you start to meet people in the industry, you recognize people when you're out on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning getting coffee or having a nice night out. And I started just working a few hours a week with the local community manager at the time, and just did a few hours a week. And that turned into a marketing assistant role. And then when that position opened up full time in 2019, I went through the application process, and was able to become the full time community manager in Omaha. So that's just a little over 3 years ago. So I've been doing this over 5 years, almost five and a half, full time three. But every day I'm like still trying to get the word out and let people know, like, hey, there's an actual person in Omaha that does really good things for business owners and the local community members who use Yelp. So that's kind of my mission, and I love it. And no day is ever the same. And I love getting to meet so many awesome people because Omaha is such a small town, and full of people who like just champion local businesses like nobody else. So we have like one of the best kind-hearted, supportive communities in the country. And I can say that having worked with so many other community managers across the country. So it's a really special city.
Well, and I like that you touched on uh you being the person here in Omaha, because you know, I myself didn't even really know exactly how Yelp worked. You got so many different platforms that have review systems and whatnot. Of course, like Google, people can do reviews on Facebook now, even. But I didn't know, that Yelp was on a localized level, as it is. So I'm glad that you're able to, expand on that and let us know like how it works in Omaha, because I'm thinking, oh, Yelp is this huge company. But again, you're helping people locally in the Omaha area, small businesses get some shine, and that's what I love. So how does that work?
So, yes, we have over 80 community managers across North America, even in Canada, who are not planted. I live here. I'm from Omaha. I grew up here. So I know everything about Omaha. But we are here, like I always say, we're boots on the ground. I'm one phone call or an email away from helping a business owner unlock their Yelp page or help users get immersed in how to use Yelp collections, how to send a compliment, a friend request, and really grow community. So people who use Yelp, because it is only truly really a review platform. We do have compliments, you have profile pictures, you can create talk threads, but it's really based on a review platform. So people who write reviews usually are pretty passionate about review writing. And I kind of coach them to get to what we call like the Yelp elite status. And that's really where we find the most genuine, constructive, positive people. And to become a Yelp elite, we encourage you to write consistently, write good quality reviews that aren't just one or two sentences. We do have a character threshold to hit before you can even post a review. It's so funny when I see them in the recent feed that's like, it was really good. I have to write more to post this. So I will just say again, it was really good. And I'm like, okay, you have to write a little bit more. Some people want to know how the parking is, if there's bathrooms, if there's hand sanitizer, so include all those details and become a high quality writer. Or sharing photos. I mean, so many people who don't even use Yelp to review will say, oh, well, I get on Yelp to look at the menu or look at pictures, or I looked at Yelp before we went out last night. And for so many years, I was a drive-by Yelper who just would look. If I was traveling, I would be in Denver or something and say, okay, I'm going to this district. Let's see what's good around here. So it took me a while to become a really avid writer. And that's really what my job here in town is to do, grow avid writers, people who write often, introduce them to new businesses. I love using the hot and new feature on Yelp to use our local Yelp, which is a newsletter that highlights, 10-ish businesses each week, kind of curated to a theme. But if you're looking for ramen or French toast or local shops, I curate these collections, and you can maybe find something you've never used before. But I always try to shout out businesses and let them know, like, hey, you were featured in the local Yelp this week. And then that's a great introduction for me to a business to say, hey, I'm Meg B, Yelp Senior Community Manager here in town. I want to let you know we complimentary put you in the local Yelp this week. So check it out. And maybe this opens the door for us to work together for a Yelp event that caters to the Yelp Elite Squad. So I'm always trying to get my foot in the door somehow that doesn't come across like a cold call or a sales call. I don't do anything with sales, which is so nice for me. So it's really nice to come in from just a genuine point of view of like, hey, I love your business. And a lot of other people do based on your 5-star reviews. I just want to introduce myself and let them know, like, I'm here in person. If you ever need anything, I can help you. And like I said, I do the same thing with Yelpers who are kind of new to the platform.
Well, and I like that word selection, genuine. That's always good, and that was exactly what I was going to say. A more genuine connection is what you're making there. So that's always cool because nobody wants to be sold to, or nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to. So when you can find some similar, you know, bridge to build, where you can connect, and it's like, okay, this person is really here to try to help me reach more people or whatever, because that's what Omaha Fatty is. I mean, I'm just a connector, I'm just that's all I am, is a connector, and I'm trying to get people who enjoy anything food related, as far as Omaha Fatty goes. I'm trying to get them to find places that they can support locally. We have so many restaurants and eateries around the town and just outside of Omaha as well that people don't know about. And for me, it's always been a thing where I just wanted to do it because I wanted to help small mom and pops keep their doors open. I said, if there was anything that I could do to, help lend a hand. And one thing I say is, and I was just talking about this yesterday, I don't expect people to spend all of their money locally. Like, I understand that we're going to go to big box stores, wherever, grocery stores, Walmart, whatever it is. yes, I'm not saying anything against those places, but what I am saying is just maybe consider that small mom and pop once more a month, or and it doesn't have to be the same one. You can spread the love around. But when we do that, that money stays in our community. So why not help our neighbors, and especially knowing people who are doing it for the love of it. It's not a big money making conglomerate corporation type of deal. It's local people who we might run into again because Omaha is small, and we can actually connect with them and make or build those relationships. So uh, that's what I really love to do. So I wanted to know from your perspective, if I'm someone who is like, okay, I do like to write reviews, like how is it okay for me to put it on different platforms, like, or should I only do it on Yelp, or like why should I do it on Yelp?
Oh gosh, this is such a great question. I think you can absolutely share the love, and put a review on Yelp. You could also put a review on Facebook, and we have some really great local Facebook food groups, and those are wonderful, and they have thousands of members. I say put them everywhere. One thing about Yelp is when you put a review on Yelp, it stays there forever.
Mhm.
So, and you can update your reviews. So I have some pages that if you see my review, you might see 6 or 7 underneath it because I just like to update my reviews or add more photos. Um, but when you leave a review on a site like Facebook or even Twitter, something that refreshes, you
Mhm.
could, your review might be seen by 1,000 people really quickly, and then it's automatically buried. So when you leave a review on Yelp, it's there forever. And when people are looking through pages of reviews for the one specific business, I think that's more impactful because, um, so many it can get lost on other platforms. So I
Mhm.
like Yelp because it's there permanently. And usually business owners do read their Yelp pages. So if you have a great experience, absolutely leave it on Yelp. And there are more 4 and 5 star reviews on Yelp than 1, 2, and 3 star combined. So I know there's probably a misconception that Yelp is just a place that people go to complain, but it's
Mhm.
actually a place I think people go to advocate, and share those pictures and share their firsthand experiences. And we always call them kind of like a love letter to a business. And I can tell you firsthand that business owners really do appreciate reviews on all platforms, quite honestly, but Yelp in general too. So put them everywhere.
There
And
you go.
there you go. Put them everywhere. Long story short.
Now I like that too because when I first started writing them, I was like, well, I've got this review on my website. Like, should I put it on Yelp? Like, I don't know. But you know what? From my perspective, after hearing you say that out loud, like, why wouldn't I, even if it is on my website? I know the ultimate goal is to draw people to my website, but the bottom line is everybody is not going to come to my website. So why not put it out there on a place like Yelp where people are like, you have your dedicated people who love Yelp and that's where they go. If that's the resource that they use, why wouldn't I put my content on that outlet as well? That it makes sense.
Absolutely. And I always say, like, when I'm, talking to someone who's a potential Yelp elite, I'm like, you don't have to review just in Omaha. Sometimes, but I think when I'm traveling and I see reviews from locals of a local spot, I'm like, wow, they have so many other places they could go in their city or in Omaha. I have so many places I could go, but I chose to go here. So I
Mhm.
love seeing reviews from local people of local businesses versus tourists who come in and leave a review because they were like, wow, traveling to Omaha, I had a great experience at this restaurant. I think it can be just as impactful, if not more, to that a local person chooses to go to a business and then leave a review, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like they could go anywhere in town, but they chose this restaurant and they chose, or this coffee shop or this pet groomer, and they, left a nice review for that spot.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you said pet groomer as well, because though I am Omaha fatty, that is what gets the most shine right now. I also am, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, small guy promotions, and small guy promotions is more all encompassing,
Yeah.
I said that wrong, encompassing of small business. Like, so whether it's a pet groomer, a small retail store, or whatever it is, I'm all about trying to support local, and so that's great. Yelp does that too. It's not just for food reviews, it's for everything.
It's everything. You can review we always say you can review almost anything on Yelp. So when people are asking like, oh, I haven't eaten out this much. I mean, I was the community manager before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and in the post pandemic world. Into a pharmacy? Have you been to the doctor? Like there's so many different things and people and places. I love seeing reviews for, a tax accountant or an insurance person or a doctor, because, sometimes you get a mixed bag of reviews across all platforms. So anytime I see something, I'm like, that is actually really useful, funny, and cool that you took time to review your tax accountant and give notes that people might be looking for. So yeah, you can review way more than just restaurants and coffee shops, etc. But it's, that's kind of the bread and butter of Yelp. That's just, there's more to review, and because there are so many options. So there are,
and people love food. So,
and people love food. People want to have food and have good food at that. So we do cater a little bit towards food, and it's more fun to have a Yelp event at a restaurant than at a chiropractor's office. So
yeah.
we don't always discriminate.
Well, and speaking of that, let's get into these Yelp elite parties. Like, what does that entail? Because I know you did recently just have one. My friend Nat over at Up Omaha posted pictures of being at an event. So how does that go down?
Okay, so I am working on setting up more than just a Yelp Elite events, but like community events open to all. I did an event this summer at Lubin Beer Company with Omaha Places, and we combined forces to promote this brand new brewery. And really, these are kind of, think of them as a marketing event for Yelpers. And the same way you might be invited to a media tasting or a food invite to a soft opening of a restaurant, we really take in people who are from all pockets of the city. Yelp Elites live in Bennington, Papillion, La Vista, Elkhorn, etc. And we invite them in because they're Yelp Elite, they get like access to a special private calendar where I'm reaching out the same way I reached out to Willie Dogs for our hot dog event. I reached out to him and I said, hey, National Hot Dog Month is coming up. Is there a way we could partner to set up an event? And here's all the pros of working with Yelp, no fee to work with Yelp. We're going to promote you on in the elite email. We're going to promote you on social media, all at no cost. All we have to do is kind of a trade marketing where we trade what Yelp offers for some hot dogs. And most business owners, once they kind of go through the process of understanding like, okay, this is a really great way for me to introduce our business to a new audience, or an audience that we know is the best word of mouth marketers in town. Mm-hmm. Then we create these amazing 5-star events. So yes, I invited Nat to Hail Varsity Club out in La Vista, and we had a musician come out and sing. We had Yelp cornhole, and they offered a buffet of their signature items for us to try. So really neat. Too.
I've been out there.
Yes, it's so good. They have their Nebraska charcuterie, which is their big soft pretzel with all the fried foods in the middle of it. And it's a great way for a business to host. We had 60 Yelpers there come in, try the food, listen to great music, hear the story from their marketing person, Meg, who kind of explained what Hail Varsity Club is. And then everybody leaves with a little bit of an emotional connection to this business. And of course, I make it fun. I'm up there hosting. So it's really great. And then you can see down the line, I always put together little recaps at the end of the year that will show a business like, hey, after we hosted our event in February, I've seen this many more elite reviews on your Yelp page, because I always create a separate event listing for the actual parties or the events, and they don't review the business that night. But if they come back, they can absolutely review the business in their own experience. And, business owners, really, it's just getting them in the door for the first time. We also have elite weeks. I have an elite week coming up with Control Coffee downtown, and people will get to come in and have a coffee and a cereal. And it's just a great way to get new foot traffic in, or have traffic. We're doing it Monday to Friday. So, on their less busy days, so that they can see the traffic come in. And it's really a win-win. There's no way that this is going to go wrong for a business if they're game in. So it ends up just being a win for the business to get this additional exposure. The same way some businesses send out Val packs or coupons. Yep. They kind of do the same thing for the Yelp Elites. And I think the Yelp Elites have a great time. They leave wonderful reviews. They walk out with a new business that they have a personal connection to. And I think it just breeds that word of mouth. I always call it the water cooler moment. So it's like, what'd you do last night? Or what'd you do this week? It's like, oh, I got to go check out this awesome new business, because I'm a Yelper. And then they start telling their friends. And again, they're all over the city, all different ages. And we all come together, and it's so fun to see people who might not have ever met before. They're getting in their car, they're walking out the door, they're coming to a new place and maybe meeting people they've never met before, and they end up having the best time. They always say going to the gym, the hardest part is walking out the door. Yeah. And once people are walking out the door and they are so sold, and it's such a fun community. And in a time when people are still getting, their feet wet, jumping back into going out and needing a community to rely on, we're such a great avenue for people to connect. And what's the easiest way to connect? Over food. Yeah. So we like to set up these events that just really, bring a smile to a business owner's heart. And I think you could see after our event with Monolithic and Willie Dogs that both the owners were like, whoa, we didn't know this was like how the event would go. We didn't know that this is how it works. So it's fun for me at the end of an event where a business owner may have been, on the rocks, and then they see it happen. And they're like, wait, this was the best night ever. And I'm like, that's what I live for.
That's good. And like you said, it's tough to get people out. It's tough. Like, it's not easy. Like I've done event coordination before with Small Guy Promotions, and even with Omaha Fatty, I've had like eat and greets because people are like, "Ooh, I want to eat with you." Then I set up these events. I'm like, but we don't get as many people sometimes as I think that we should. It's tough to get people out. When we used to do events for Small Guy, a lot of music shows and stuff, we would say it was tough to compete with Netflix. So getting people out, there's something to be said if you can get people to physically come out. We're running down on time here, Meg, but I definitely wanted you to give one key detail about Yelp that you would like people to know.
Gosh, well, I do want people to know that it is never too late to become a Yelp Elite. There's no strings attached. There's no cost attached. If you like writing reviews and it's a hobby of yours, definitely invest in, sharing your thoughts and feedback for restaurants and other businesses in Omaha and beyond. If you are interested in connecting with myself, you can DM me on Yelp Omaha on Instagram. You can email omaha@yelp.com. My virtual door on Yelp is open. I'm just Meg B. Sign up for the local Yelp. But I think those are my big ats that you can get me at. But yeah, I'm so thankful I got to come on, because I think you and I both are, the builder or the bridge between people who want to try new things. And, if they can feel comfortable, if they know you and they're like, well, I like you. And so I want to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of, when I'm hosting an event, it's the same way. Well, I don't know anybody here, but I know Meg, and I talked to her on Yelp. So I feel more comfortable. And my job, once you come to an event, I'm talking to everybody. I don't just greet you and then leave. I'm in the mix, and I'm getting to know people and hearing people's story. And I think that's such an important part of being in the community is, just like you, connect with people, have conversations. And people will feel more comfortable going out more and more, because, hey, they might see you there. They might see the chef, they might see the owner. And that's such a special thing. And I will say one more thing about what you touched on earlier with the small businesses. The best part of Omaha is the collaboration. When you see breweries that get their coffee grounds from their stouts from other coffee shops.
Yep.
And you see businesses who get their herbs from local farmers markets, or so that's the best for me. My favorite part is when I'm setting up an event and I'm like, oh, there's like 3 or 4 different businesses involved in this business. Omaha has the best collaborative community I've ever seen.
Yes, the food community. Yeah, for sure. The food community. I'm sure other businesses collaborate and help each other out too, but like the food community is definitely on a different tier. So,
Yeah. Oh, and then one other thing that's coming up next year that I'm really excited about is Women Run Omaha. And we focus on women run businesses, women who are, operators, general managers. They don't have to be a stake owner, but they help run the business. I'm really passionate about that community. So if anybody out there knows a great woman run business, feel free to nominate them. Again, you can DM me at Yelp Omaha or email me.
yes, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll make sure to put all of her contact information in the show notes. So don't worry about that. You're like, what? I got to replay it. No, just look in the show notes. It's right there. Man, it's been great. Time has flown by. I can't believe our time is up already. But Meg, thank you again so much. If you ever need anything from Omaha Fatty, just let me know. I'm more than willing to help out if I'm able to. So, as we end every episode, ladies and gentlemen, smile, help someone else smile, laugh, and help someone else laugh all day, every day. Yeah, share the podcast with your friends. Thank you, Meg.
Bye. Thanks.